Hey coaster fans, it's Deo Tai1, and we're here to give you a coaster review of the Mindbender at Galaxyland at the West Edmonton Mall in Edmonton, Alberta, Canada. So this is a massive Anton Schwarzkopf roller coaster, and it's the largest indoor roller coaster in the world. The height is 144 feet tall. The speed is 96.5 kilometers an hour. The track length is 4,198 feet of track, and it's a very long ride too. It feels like you're on there for like 3 minutes. So yeah, it opened in 1985, and it's still running good today. And yeah, I'm gonna tell you the ride experience, and then I'll tell you my overall thoughts. When you're walking there, you'll just notice how big it is. Like, it's a crazy ride. So during the ride experience, after all the restraints are checked and we're all clear and ready to go, the coaster turns left into this wheel drive lift hill. So the lift hill has spinning wheels on it. So instead of a chain lift or a cable lift that takes you up, they use a spinning wheel. They use spinning wheel-driven style lift hill to take you up to the top. So you go up 144 feet in the air, and you drop 127 feet to the left. So you do a left hand drop into one of four block brakes on the ride, or mid-course brake runs. So you turn into the first mid-course, then you turn into these two vertical loops. So you turn left, you do another drop, and you go through straight track through two vertical loops, and those two vertical loops are amazing. They're like the best part of the ride for me. Then you turn left into another mid-course. You turn left into a little airtime hill to another mid-course. You turn left, you go back into another mid-course brake run. Then you turn left again. Then you go straight and you go through this last vertical loop over the bridge, which is pretty cool. And then you hit then you do two airtime hills or so into a mid-course brake run, which is the last one of the ride. Then you turn left again, you go straight, and then you go through this massive helix at the end of the ride. And there's a mirror in the center of it, so it's a pretty cool effect to the ride. And then you turn left again, do straight track, another airtime hill or so, and then you hit the final brakes. So my overall thought about it is so big when you see it in person, and it's a massive roller coaster, and it's an intense roller coaster, guys. It is super intense. Those two vertical loops are the most intense part of the ride for me, and it has to be my favorite part of the entire coaster. My other second favorite part has to be those turns into those mid-courses and those airtime hills, and then the helix at the end. Like, the entire ride is so much fun. And it's a long ride too. Like 4,198 feet of track. That's pretty long, and it's indoors. So it feels, and it's like 1 minute and 13 seconds, but it feels longer than that. It's a very long ride, and it's a lot of fun. It's personally my favorite roller coaster in Canada out of all the ones I've ridden. Like, it's better than Leviathan for me. But yeah, it's an amazing coaster. If you're in the area, you got to go ride it. One thing that I might need to let you know, though, is the restraint system is a little bit weird. But the reason why it's there is because back in the day there was an accident that happened back in 1986. There was a collision on the train, and a few people got injured, and 3 of them got killed, sadly. And so maintenance came, and then they redid the trains. They had a better system that kept the train on the track, and since then there hasn't been any more accidents. So there's 3 kinds of restraints on the ride. So first you have your seatbelt, then you have your lap bar, and then you have your over the shoulder restraint. But those over the shoulder restraints only go up to your shoulders, like right up to here. And because of the intense and the G-forces, you might get a little bit of head banging and neck or head banging on the ride. Like, the ride's not rough. It's just really whippy. Like it whips you from one part to another, and those G-forces are insane, especially on those 2 vertical loops. And that's personally my favorite part of the ride. Definitely the 2 vertical loops. And if I have to say the best row for the ride has to be the back seat. The back seat, oh my gosh, like I grayed out on after that second loop, and that's like the most intense part of the ride. And when you're in the back seat, like, oh my gosh, you're like gray out a bit. It's like, it's like that. And it's like before you hit one of the other mid courses, like it's crazy. Like it's super intense. So yeah. So for intensity, I'm giving it a 10, hands down. For smoothness, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10. It has its moments, but it does have some headbanging moments, but it doesn't affect the ride too much for me. Like, it's not my worst. It's not one of my least coasters, but I mean, it's one of my favorites. And it's actually some rides that I could actually handle a little bit painful rides on it. So, but yeah, it's a fun ride. Restraints, I'm giving it a 7 also. Like, I don't mind the restraints too much. I'm just not a fan of the shoulder ones because I rode it around 5 or 6 times in one day, and it takes a lot out of you, man. Like, it takes a lot out of you. And like later on in the day, my shoulders were a little bit sore. So the trains are a little uncomfortable too, but it doesn't bother me too much. But like I said, the shoulder restraints is probably the only thing that I'm not a huge fan of. But I mean, safety first, and I'm glad they did a good job, making sure it's safe and making sure it doesn't happen again. And it's a great ride overall. It's fantastic. It's the best coaster in Canada, and it's my 3rd favorite coaster I've ridden. It's right behind Intimidator 305, which Intimidator 305 is the most intense coaster ever built. I'm going to do a review of that later on in the future. But I just wanted to do my Mindbender one, and for Mindbender's overall score, I'm giving it a 10 out of 10. Like, any day. I love that ride. It's so good. I'm definitely excited. I'm definitely planning on going back to Edmonton, Alberta to go back and ride it again. I'm probably going to do it in maybe 2022 because I think it's going to be a great trip, and I'm glad that it's in my country of Canada, and even though One Run's my home park, but I mean it's a great addition. I highly recommend you ride it. If you're a fan of intense roller coasters, you got to, and you're local, like if you're from Canada and you want to ride an intense coaster, I highly recommend you go there because it's an amazing coaster and it's an amazing ride. And you'll also love the other coasters there, like Galaxy Orbiter. That blew my mind too. A lot of the rides really surprised me, and their spinny rides are amazing too. But yeah, that's all. That's my review of Mindbender at Galaxyland at the West Edmonton Mall in Alberta, Edmonton, Canada. Let me know what you think of this ride in the comments below. Let me know if you want to go ride it and what you think. And yeah, if you like this video, subscribe, and hope you guys have a great day. Talk to you guys later. Bye, guys.